Strom Septi Nikhuasia le Nikhuasia Tlantiga humhim awknak Tilet Meisa Teklak Klipi le Nikhuasia Pol in Minung Nunna Kumtin Tampi Asyaswa Nashanga Ziang Vek Si Ti Anungi Ziang Tin Ziang Vek na Tontiga Nangma le Nangma Nasung Kwa le Misen Pi Shanga Tim Lam Ochianak Naicha le Thaicha Ding Atupizet Hivek Tikchu Chan I on ring Z on Thaimi emergency water siren khal na nak kyang kaba an ding Hivek in Nikhuasia nasazet in aran ding tiga Chumi til on chu ring Z in Reipi on ter asitel Chu on in atul vek in humhim awknak to dinga warning apek tinak asi Hivek klipi aran tiga ahim nak big hunchu leinhoi basement pol ansi Ziang tekhala Til kwai Thaimi le til zummi kyang kaba na lauding basement na law asile in I anyam nak big hun le room fate big zun in closet law le utility room pol a tumo in asong ni naga lauding in tlun lam I chu Nikhuasia le teklak tega ti anung big nak hun si Moto namong lai a tornado timi Nikhuasia rang asile moto in swak lauli in anyam big nang mun namhu naga fe tumo namoto kha klipi ni thilzang te pakhat vek in khila ka alak thau thei ruanga moto sunga kha ahim lau hivek Nikhuasia chan I man thaimi emergency kit tool poimo deu pol mun khada red ja atha chu pol ta chu eile in tidai siwai tom thom nak le Tildang Nazi Somsari Pani Sungtal Nan Sungkwa Lau Dai Ding Mi Pol Ansi Hivek Tikchu Lechan Akhang Tiga Nan Sungkwa Zaten Puitong Muna Nan Tongoding Zau Ni Zau A Contract Ding Ziang Tin Mun Khada Kan Tongo Sal Ding Tivek Le Yang Vek Tikchu Lechana Ziang Vek In Zau Pol Akauding Timi Pol Tim Lam Ochia Nak Le Fel Fai Ten Simotia Teng Teng Atha Chutichun Nan Sungkwa Nan Him Dam Thading Himi Nikhuasia Tulha Polton Paper in Thaisin Sinak le Ralring Thainak Dinga NOAA Timi Nikhua Radio Nanaya Tool Chumi NOAA Radio Chu Electronic Door Pola Man Olten Nalay Thai Asi Lungoy Lấy luôn hun ra kia bia trên TV rắc rào theo tu nu là pa pol đâm lên ra cái nanum chiang mo tu cha na chu trên TV ni special za di sin American ram kan tiga Nikhuasia le Ruasia ra hang theo chumi cha na ra thlen tiga yang tin kam mal ma kan hum hi mok ding yang tin kam mal ma kan to mong hlo mok ding timi thu thom paper ro in American Red Cross is sin Carol Greeley chu chin TV ni thu su nak le kan to tu mi pol in hu dinga hina kan chin TV station na kan nakawasi so first of all Carol how can we prepare if a disaster happen in here?
Okay, well, first thing you need to do is put together an emergency preparedness kit for you and your family. So however many people are in your home, you want to put together enough supplies to keep you and your family safe for 3 days.
3 days.
So the first thing you're going to want to get together is water, and that's again enough for all the members of your family to drink, also make food. You might need it for your pets too for 3 days. So it's a gallon per person per day. Then you also want to have enough food, and this is food that does not perish. The food that you don't need to leave in the refrigerator. And that's enough for each of your family members, and it's usually good to have food that you like and that your kids will eat, and snacks, because sometimes it's really scary to be involved in a disaster, and it's comforting to have the food that you eat and the food that you like in there. So again, enough food and water for each person for 3 days.
So how many gallons for one person again?
1 gallon per person per day.
Okay.
So let's say you have a family of 4, that would be 4 times 3, so that'd be 12 gallons of water. So people usually either get these large gallons or they get the really big ones, or sometimes they'll just get the bottled water, because the bottled water is
carry.
It's easier to carry, and it doesn't leak as much.
Okay.
Another thing you definitely want to have is a first aid kit. And a first aid kit is in case you get hurt while you're in a disaster, like a tornado happens and you get hit by debris or something like that. You can't exactly call 911 and get an ambulance here. You need to treat it while you can. Yes, or if anybody gets a cut or anything that you need to treat it. So it's all right there in your kit. Another thing would be a flashlight and extra batteries. And you need a flashlight for every member of your family. So see, I've got 4 here. So my family of 4 would have a flashlight, each person.
Everyone have to have one flashlight.
Yes, that way you can get around the house and you don't have to say, where's the flashlight? And we don't encourage candles because candles, when the power goes out, you don't have lights. We don't encourage candles because candles could start a fire. And then you're in another disaster. So then the other thing we talked about is a weather radio. And this weather radio is programmable for your county. So you can type in your zip code with your mailing address, your zip code, and then that will tell you when there are tornadoes coming in just your county and no other county.
So just for your county, right?
So it'll go off just for the warnings for that, which is really great. And it's got a battery backup. But you can also just get a regular radio and take that with you to where you're safe during a tornado, and that'll tell you if there's something coming too. We always want extra clothing and blankets to keep yourself warm during a disaster, and then also extra clothing in case you need to change into it. Or let's say a tornado happens in the middle of the night and you're in your pajamas. You don't want to go to a Red Cross shelter or go out of your house with just your pajamas on. You want to have some extra clothes in your size that you would feel comfortable in to wear. So you want to get those. Definitely want to make sure that you remember your pets.
What is that?
This is a food bowl, yes. And also enough food, because you've got, again, the water for your pets, but you also want to have the food. And these are just examples, I guess. And then also for babies, if you've got babies or elderly folks in your home that need extra things, like babies need formula and diapers and all the extra stuff that goes with babies. They can't just eat regular food. And then the diapers, but also your elderly folks. If you have your grandparents or your parents living with you, that you need also extra eyeglasses or extra canes, or maybe they're on oxygen. You need to make sure that you have extras of those. So all these items, there's more intricate items too, like your cell phone charger. You definitely want to have an extra cell phone charger because your phone is your lifeline, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
During a disaster. You definitely want to do that. And we talked about games. At one point, if you're in the basement and there's a tornado, keep you occupied.
It's good for adults too. You know, it seems they don't have nothing to do in the basement. You know,
exactly, and pass the time. Or if maybe you need to go to a Red Cross shelter, we have games there. But at the same time, it wouldn't hurt to keep your kids occupied by having some games to play. So those are some definite items too that you definitely want to put. Sorry, I forgot about the medication. You want to have extra medication of yours. If you have medication that you take on a daily basis, you want to have a 3-day supply of that medication in your kit, because if there's a tornado, then there's no way to get to a pharmacy. If you have like blood pressure medicine or something that you have to take, you want to have a 3-day supply. Not a whole prescription worth, but a 3-day supply.
Okay, so when you mention about the water, you say 3 days, right? And also when you mention about the medicine, you say 3 days. So why are you saying the 3 days? So that means it can last 3 days, or why? Why is that?
Well, sometimes during big disasters, and there's debris everywhere, like trees fall down on the roads, it might take 3 days for emergency personnel to get to you or for you to be able to get out. So we say have enough for 3 days so that you can keep yourself alive until somebody can come and get you, or you can get out to go to a Red Cross shelter.
Yeah, so we have to prepare at least for 3 days.
At least for 3 days. You might not need all 3 days.
Yeah, but in case, you know.
In case,
okay,
right.
Gotcha.
Definitely, yeah.
Carol, what other thing we can do for prepare?
Well, and one of the things is your debit card or your credit card that you use at your bank may not work. So you want to get some cash and keep that in your kit. I know it would be hard to keep cash in your kit sitting around. You might want to spend it, but it's really important that in case you can't go out and get money and you need money to maybe buy milk, or when you do get out, you definitely want to have some cash to be able to pay for that. And we talked about the weather radio. I got my weather radio at Kroger, believe it or not, but you can also get it at electronic stores. You can also get just a regular radio that you can listen to radio stations if that's what you need.
But it's different, right? The regular radio and weather radio.
There's
different. Right?
There's different, yes, because the
okay.
weather radio only talks about the weather, and they're the first ones to send out a warning if there's a tornado coming, or like a winter storm advisory. They're the first ones to do that, and that's all it does is it plays weather. So this weather radio would be very helpful in case you are just worried about the weather and you're not wanting to listen to music or anything like that. There is also a weather radio that charges your cell phone on our website on redcross.org, and that's another place that you can also buy one of these kits already made. So this is just an example of one, but what it would have is 3 days worth of food for a family of 4, water, a flashlight, gloves. There's lots of different things in here that you can, that all you have to do is buy it. You don't have to put it all together.
So it's all, I mean, whatever you're gonna need is gonna be in there, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
awesome.
for people that don't want to put it all together, they'd rather just buy it and have it.
Oh,
You
that's
could buy
cool.
that
How
there.
much you pay for that?
Well, it depends on how many people you're buying it for. So
Okay.
for 1 or 2 people, it's not as much as you would buy it for 4 people.
Oh, okay.
So it just depends on what you want to do. A lot of this stuff is already in your house, and
Yeah,
all you
yeah,
have to do is
that's
put
true.
it in a location. So once you put it in a location, you want to tell your family where it is, and you want to keep it there. And you don't want to keep going in and saying, oh, I need this,
Yes.
or oh, I need this.
Okay.
You want to replenish your food, and you want to replenish your medications. And then when you grow, or if you get smaller, if you lose weight, you want to change your clothes.
Okay.
Every 6 months, you want to rotate out the food and the water, because the water could also go bad after a while. And it's a great project if you have kids that obviously they grow, so their clothes are going to get too small, and they want to have their food in there. So it's a great way to get the family involved to say, okay, everybody, it's time to change out your stuff. Go get some new clothes, and we'll put them in the kit.
Oh, you say 6 months at a time? Oh.
Every 6 months.
Okay.
When they talk about changing your batteries and your smoke alarms in your home, we always say change out the items in your kit. That's a good way to remember that.
So every 6 months?
Yeah,
Okay.
every 6 months. And there's also, this is just part of being prepared. You also want to have a plan of where to go if you are told to evacuate. If you can't stay in your home, you need to know where to go. And that way you can find out where the nearest Red Cross shelter is, or you can find a family or friend that you can go stay with. You also want to know 2 ways out of your house in case there's a fire. So there's 3 steps to being Red Cross ready. And one of them is the kit, as we talked about.
Yeah.
The second one is to have a plan, and that's a plan to get out of your house or to get out of your area if you have a disaster. And the third one is to be informed, and that's how you're doing, how how to be ready for disasters.
Okay. All right, and I think we have a weather channel app or something. So can you tell me more about that thing?
Sure, sure. Earlier in March, we came out with, the Red Cross came out with a tornado app.
Okay.
And it's on all smartphones, and you can also get it on Android. And what it is it's a tornado app that will tell you when there's a tornado coming. It will also have a warning siren that will go off. It also is a strobe light and a flashlight in case you can't see in the dark.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really great. And
Do
also,
we have to pay for that, or?
No, it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Wow, that's cool.
It's
So
free.
just go to Red Cross website
and find it there. Yeah, it's also on
okay.
the App Store.
App
It's at
Store,
the App
so-
Store.
Oh,
And you
okay.
just download it there. It also tells you where the Red Cross shelters are after a tornado, and it does that for your area. So you can type in
that's
your
cool.
area, and it'll tell you all the warnings that are going on right now for your area.
Okay.
Very
Cool.